Lesson 11-6 is interest. Okay, the first thing I wanted you to do is write down this vocabulary. So principal is the amount of money borrowed or deposited. Simple or interest is the amount paid or earned for the use of that principal. Okay, and simple interest is calculated using specified periods of time. And that time has to be in years. Make sure you write that down. Time has to be in years. Now, here is the formula, okay? Here is the formula. It is interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. Make sure you write down the formula also. That is the formula in words. Here is the formula right here with variables. I equals PRT, where time, again, is in years. All right, example A, 1A is find simple interest. It says Curtis deposits $550 into the savings account. The account pays 1.75% simple interest on an annual basis. If he does not add or withdraw money from the account, how much interest will he earn after 3 years? So the first thing we want to do is we want to go through to see what the important information is. Okay? So what's important here? Yep. He deposits $550 into the savings account. What else is important? Yes. Yeah. Right. 1.75% simple interest. And what else is important? Yes. Right. We want to know how much interest will he earn after 3 years. Now, we want to know how much interest he will earn after 3 years, okay? So, that's our important information that you should have written down on the side. So, we're going to start with our formula. What's the formula? Our formula is interest equals PRT. Interest equals PRT, okay? So the principal, that's the $550, right? That's our P, that's the principal. So this is 550 times the interest rate. Over here is the interest rate. What do I have to do to that interest rate before I put it into the equation? Always the percent has to get changed to a decimal. So we have to bloop, bloop, and X at 0, take away the percent sign. So this is the rate we're going to put into the equation is 0.0175. And the time, right there's a time, in years, that's what we want, is 3. So we're going to multiply times 3. Is everybody clear? So now we just multiply. So we have 550 times 0.0175 times 3, and that gives us 28.875. 28.875. Now, of course, this is in money, right? So if it's money, we want to round to the nearest hundredth. Very good. So there's the hundredth place. So we're looking at the 5 to tell us what to do. What does it tell us to do?
Round up.
Round up. So the amount of interest that Curtis earns after 3 years is $28.88. All right, example 2A is find simple interest again. It says Carrie invests $430 into a savings account. The account pays 2.5% simple interest on an annual basis. If she does not add or withdraw money from the account, how much interest will she earn after 15 months? So, what's important here? She invests $430 into a savings account. What else is important here? Right. There's 2.5% simple interest on an annual basis. And finally, what else is important? After 15 months. So we want to know how much interest will she earn after 15 months. Now, what do you notice here, folks?
15 months is not more than a year.
We have to change months to years, right? Change months to years. Now, how do I change months to years? All right, so here we're going to take, in order to change this to years, we're going to take that 15 months and we're going to divide by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. Is everybody with me? So 15 divided by 12 gives me 1.25. So this is going to be 1.25 years. What's my formula? Yeah. Interest equals PRT. Right? So the principal is equal to 430, right? 430. What's the rate? 2.5. What do I have to do to that before I put it into the equation? Change the percent to a decimal. So we're going to bloop, bloop. So we're going to put in to the equation 0.025. And then the time that we're going to put in, we already calculated it up here, is 1.25 years. Now, I do want to tell you something about this. If you do a division and you get a repeating decimal, like let's say I had 13 months. 13 divided by 12, look at the decimal that we get. See, it's a repeating decimal? If you have a repeating decimal, then you have to keep it as a fraction. And I'll show you how to do that also. Okay? So now we just multiply. So we have 430 times 0.025 times 1.25, and you get, right. So this is going to be, 13 point, 13.43, 13.4, what was it? 4375. Okay, so now this is money. So what do I need to round to? The nearest hundredth place. Very good. So what does that 7 tell me to do? Very good. So this is going to give us $13. Very good. And 44 cents. Example 3A is finding simple interest again. It says Abby borrows $3,216 at a rate of 6 4/5% per year. How much total will she pay if it takes 2 years to repay the loan? So, what's my important information here? Very good. What else is important?
Is that the rate of 6 4/5% per year?
Very good. And what else is important? Right. It takes 2 years to repay the loan. Now, be careful, you guys. What are they asking us? How much total will she pay? Is everybody clear? So, am I just looking for the interest with my formula? What do I have to do after I find my interest? You have to add it to how much she borrowed. Is everybody clear with that? So, let's start with our formula. interest equals PRT. The principal is $3,216. Okay. The rate is 6.4%. So this is 6 4/5%. Can I change this so that it makes it easier for me to change the percent to a decimal? How do I change the 4/5 to a decimal?
4 divided by 5.
Right, so we just divide 4 divided by 5, and that gives us 0.8. So this is 6.8%. Does everybody see that? 6.8%. Now, before I put that percent into the equation, what do I have to do?
Make the percent.
Very good. So we're going to bloop bloop, annex that 0, and remove the percent sign. So what we're going to put into the equation is 0.068. Is everybody clear with that? So we're going to multiply times 0.068. And the time is 2 years. So now we multiply. So $3,216 times 0.068 times 2 years, and that gives us 0.376. So this is 437.376. Now, because the amount that you borrowed, because the principal is just 3,216 and no decimals in there, I'm going to go ahead and round here. Is everybody okay with that? So, rounding to the nearest cent, what does that tell us to do? Very good. So this is going to be $437.38. What is that we just solved for?
The simple interest.
That is the interest. Very good. Now, what do I have to do with this? Right. We have to add it to how much she borrowed. So, the total amount that she has to repay is going to be equal to the principal plus the interest. So the principal is $3,216 plus the interest was $437.38. And what's that going to give you?
3,653.38.
Does everybody agree? Tell me again. 3,653.38. Is everybody clear? So now we're going back to example 1B. You're working on this with your table partners. It says Jenny puts $1,560 into a savings account. The account pays 3.5% simple interest on an annual basis. If she does not add or withdraw money from the account, how much interest will she earn after 3 years? So here, the interest that she earned is $163.80. The principal is $1,560. The interest rate, after we changed it to a decimal, becomes 0.035. And then she earned after 3 years. She repaid after 3 years. Very good. All right, let's go to example 2B. All right. It says Marcos deposits $760 into a savings account. The account pays 4% simple interest on an annual basis. If he does not add or withdraw money from the account, how much interest will he earn after 9 months? All right, so the principal is $760. The rate we changed to a decimal, 0.04. The time is in months, you see? So we had to multiply times 9, but then we had to divide by 12. Does everybody see that? So I multiplied everything on top first and then divided by 12, and that's how I got my $22.80. Example 3B says find simple interest. It says Mrs. Hanover borrows $1,413 at a rate of 5.5% per year. How much simple interest will she owe if it takes 9 months to repay the loan? And round your answer to the nearest cent. Okay. So here, the important information is that our principal is $1,413. The interest rate, you guys, I wrote as 5.5% and then changed that to a decimal. So we have 0.055, and then we're going to use 9 months to pay. So on this one, I multiplied times 9 and divided by 12. Since this one, if you change 9/12, 9 divided by 12, you get a terminating decimal. You could have also just put 0.75 in for the time. Is everybody clear with that? But I did it in fraction form. So 9 divided by 12. So then I multiplied the entire numerator, got this, then divided the whole thing by 12, and I got this. Rounding to the nearest cent, that 6 tells me that I want to round up. Is everybody clear with that? All right, very good.